Hello dear students, welcome to ESE Engineering Academy. Today we are here to look at the preparation strategy for digital electronics for the GATE exam as well as the engineering services examination for all the three branches, ECE, EEE and instrumentation. What exactly the preparation strategy? Do we need this preparation strategy? Do we require it? If we just prepare the subject, is it not enough? But remember, my dear students, if we want to succeed in these competitive examinations, you need lot of resources. It's not enough if we just have the knowledge in that subject. Apart from that, lot of other things you have to take care. Only if you can collectively put all these things at one place, then only you are going to succeed in the examination with a good score. In my experience, I have seen many students who are very good at subject, but when it comes to the competitive examination, they fumbled. They did not get very good score. Converse to that, if you look at other students who were moderate in the knowledge and they have implemented all the preparations in a systematic way as given by us, they could succeed it in a great way and they got into a very good grade score. So we have seen lot of such cases. That's the reason we have come up with this video presentation so that you people will understand what exactly the things you require to prepare it effectively and get a very good grade score as well as very good score in engineering service examination. This type of problem is predominantly visible in digital electronics. The questions asked in digital electronics, they are very tricky. You would have read number of textbooks, but if you didn't understand the basics of that particular topic, so there is every chance that you are going to answer it in a wrong way. Quite often, it is going to happen. The reason is, the questions will be given in a logical way. So you should understand that logic and according to that particular logic, get the answer, think about the answer and give it in a proper manner. Then only you will be successful. So what I advise you is, if you want to succeed in this competitive examination, you please try to follow whatever inputs I am going to give in this presentation and implement them. I am sure you are going to come up with a very good scores. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Y. Chakrapani, faculty at ESE Engineering Academy. So now I get into the digital electronics subject. What exactly you need to focus in this particular subject? What are the inputs you are supposed to know? One by one, I will cover. So this is implied for GATE exam as well as engineering service examination, and it is also meant for all the three branches, ECE, EEE and instrumentation. Let's go ahead with this. Yeah, the first thing, you have to be aware of the syllabus given in all the competitive examinations like GATE and engineering service examination. That means you have to restrict your preparation only to the required topics without going beyond that. For that reason, this is the syllabus given for electronics and communication engineering students in the GATE exam. Predominantly, it is having totally 4 topics: number representation, sequential circuits, data converters, and semiconductor memories. These are the 4 topics. Leave about, this is the last topic, is different, computer organization. So, in order to cover these 4 topics, in our lecture, we have to focus on all these things. One by one, I have given, just go through this. So we have to start from the scratch and then you build the fundamentals. Number systems, binary numbers, floating point numbers, binary codes, Boolean algebra as well as K-maps. How to use them, what is the basics about them, we should learn it. I told you, no, you have to look into the typical cases, not the routine ones. So in each of this topic, you have to look for the typical case, and for that one, you have to understand what is the solution, what is the fundamental required to answer to that question. That is very, very, very much necessary. Let's go ahead. So to cover this syllabus, we require few more topics. Logic gates and static CMOS implementation. Nowadays, more and more number of questions are coming based on static CMOS implementation. So you have to be thorough with that. And then combinational and sequential circuit. It is the heart of the digital electronics subject. Coming to the last part, it is the data converters as well the semiconductor memories. So for electronics and communication engineering students, for the GATE exam, these all the topics which are very, very important. Okay, you have to go through this. Next. Let us focus for some time what exactly the things required for electrical students. So this is the GATE syllabus for electrical engineering students. This is the snapshot. I have taken it from directly from the brochure of the GATE. And then if you elaborate, the same topics will come for EEE also. So we have to start with the number systems as well as binary numbers and codes. Like same as electronics and communication engineering students, we need to study all these topics up to the data converters. Only one thing is excluded in EEE syllabus. There is no semiconductor memories. Okay, so the syllabus of digital electronics for EEE student for GATE is same as ECE student syllabus except semiconductor memories. Now let us focus for some time, what is the syllabus meant for instrumentation students? Fine. So they are also having the lengthy syllabus in digital electronics. So it comes from here. So this is the syllabus for digital electronics for instrumentation students. So this also starts with number systems and goes deep into the subject. Okay, instead of this, I have put all the topics in the list form in this manner. Again, the first 5 topics, these are same as your ECE and EEE students. And then the logic gates and static CMOS implementation, that is also there. Combinational sequential circuits, and then for instrumentation students, the data converters is a very important topic. And he has specially mentioned in this data converters, this is going to be important topic here. That is, what are the characteristics of A to D and D to A converters? What is the meaning of settling time? What's the meaning of aperture time? What is the meaning of the differential non-linearity? Such things we need to know. For instrumentation students, it's very, very important. You know that instrumentation students, they deal more with this particular A to D and D to A converters. And also, they have semiconductor memories as well as the logic families. I know not many questions will come on semiconductor memories. You can exclude it, and most of the questions will come from other topics, and also logic families is included for instrumentation students in the GATE syllabus. So first and foremost, before you proceed for preparing any competitive examination, you need to have what are the topics in digital electronics in the mind properly. Then only you can have effective preparation. Now let me go ahead with engineering service examination students. You know pretty well the type of questioning is little different in engineering service examination compared to the GATE examination. They are not going to be the same. Then what syllabus is given for ECE and EEE students in engineering service examination? Fine. So this is electronics and telecommunication syllabus for engineering service examination. Of course, most of the topics are going to be same as the digital electronics syllabus of the GATE exam, but few more topics are there. So I have taken from this and listed out like this. So the syllabus, it starts with Boolean algebra and its uses, combinational and sequential circuits, logic gates, the multiplexers basics, counters and registers. This is called logic families, which is also called as digital IC families. and then the memories. So this logic families is extra in engineering service examination for the ECE students. Okay, right. In the similar fashion, you are having advanced electronics. In that also, some of the digital topics are there. So that also comes under digital electronics. And under advanced electronic topics, what are the topics mentioned here is only two things. How to design using multiplexer, how to design using read-only memory, how to design a system using programmable logic array. That is what the first one. So we need to learn all these types of designs, especially for engineering service examination students. Coming to the second one, Moore and Mealy machine design. We know that the sequence circuits are of two types. One is Moore machine, other one is Mealy machine. Then for any given problem, how to design a Moore machine as well as the Mealy machine. Okay, so this is the syllabus for electronics and telecommunication in engineering service examination. Then what about the syllabus for electrical engineering students? So this is the syllabus. It was mentioned very briefly, but if you look at the questions, sometimes it comes beyond this syllabus. That is the unfortunate thing. So what is the syllabus given is combinational and sequential circuits, multiplexers, multivibrators, and then sample and hold circuits, A to D, D to A converters. So in brief, it looks like some 5 to 6 topics, but in order to answer to those questions, we need to have the complete description of the syllabus. So we have to learn again from scratch. What is the number system, binary numbers and codes, what is Boolean algebra, K-maps, all these things are necessary very much for us. And then logic gates, combinational and sequential circuits. Combinational also called as combinatorial circuits, both are same, and also sequential circuits, and this is the data converters. You can see that the syllabus of EEE and ECE is almost same, 95%. Only 5% difference is there between them. So this is first of all the syllabus overview. One has to have it before you proceed for any preparation. Yeah. Next one, we need to think about what is the weightage analysis. Naturally, you cannot prepare the topics just in a blind way. I cannot giving the same importance for all the topics. Reason, if you look at the pattern of questions, you will come to know that in some of the topics he is emphasizing more compared to other topics. So you have to understand where the examiner is asking the questions more and more in this competitive examination. To know that, first of all, we should understand what is the weightage analysis, then we go for the syllabus description later on. Let's see the weightage. Fine. In the gate for ECE students, this is the distribution of the marks. It is not the marks, sorry, number of questions. So in 2019, totally 3 plus 1, 4 questions have come. If you look at all through these years, in 2022, 3 1-mark questions have come and 4 2-mark questions have come. And in the latest year, 4 1-mark questions have come and 2 2-mark questions have come. That means in 2023, 2 into 2, 4 plus 4 into 1, 4. Total marks are 8 marks have given out of 100. So it is quite a big number. So digital electronics is having major contribution. Okay, so if you prepare well, you can easily score 100% marks in this. Let me show what are the total number of marks that have come here. This is the total number of marks. In 2019, total number of marks are 5. 1 into 2 plus 3, that is 5 marks. 2020, 3 into 2, 6 plus 2, 8 marks. Like that, in the latest year, 2 into 2, 4 plus 4, 8 marks. So on average for ECE students, you can see that 8 marks are coming in the GATE examination. So you need to have this in your mind. So the same number of questions, I have displayed it here in the form of histogram. Okay. So in 2019, how many 1-mark questions have come and how many 2-mark questions have come? The blue one is 1-mark question and this one is 2-mark question. As you can see here, the questions are being asked on average, okay? Average number of 1 marks question as well as 2 marks question. Okay, right, let's proceed. Getting to the GATE EEE students. You know that pretty well. In GATE exam, every single mark is very crucial. If you get plus 1 mark, your rank will go up by 500 to 1000. At the same time, if you lose 1 mark because of some mistake, unfortunately, your rank will go down drastically. So, every mark is going to be a life and death problem. So, you have to do that in a proper way. Most of the times I found that the students are not getting marks in digital electronics because they are committing the mistakes. Even though they know the answer, but because of tension in the exam hall, they are picking the wrong answer. And after coming out, they are realizing. So if you want to get rid of that, then you need more and more practice. I will tell you how to practice it. Just wait for a few minutes. Okay. So this is the distribution of the marks. Here I have get in EEE in GATE exam. These are the total number of marks. So in 2023, maximum number of marks have come from digital electronics for EEE students. That is nothing but 3 into 2, 6 marks. So 6 marks out of 100, it's a very crucial one. See, the advantage with the digital electronics is, if you answer the questions properly, surely you will come to the correct answer. There will not be any confusion. So that is the advantage. But the only thing is, to answer to those questions with that effectiveness, you have to be good at fundamentals. If you don't know fundamentals in a proper manner, then there is a chance for committing mistake. So avoid that, learn the fundamentals. Right. So this is the distribution of the marks, what you got in GATE exam. So same thing, for electrical students, the histogram has been displayed, which is going to show the number of questions here. Okay, please do not confuse. These are the number of questions. This indicates number of 1 mark questions, that's equal to 2, and this indicates number of 2 marks. Sorry, this is 1 mark question and this one is 2 mark question. So that is what it. Okay. So like this one, we need to see here. So this is 1 mark question and this is 2 mark question. So the histogram clearly says that for EEE students, the digital electronics is also very important apart from their core subjects. We need to understand that importance. Okay, right. Well, what about the instrumentation? Do they get the same importance in digital electronics? Yes. So look at the marks, what they got it in the exam. In 2019, 4 1 mark question, 4 2 marks questions have come. So that is quite a good number. And all through the years, you can see a lot of importance is given to digital electronics. If you look at the latest year, 2023, there are 3 2 marks questions and 3 1 mark question. That means total number of marks are 6 plus 3, 9 marks have come. For your information, let me display what are the total number of marks we got it here. That's it. So 12, it is maximum in 2019, and of course in the latest year 9 marks. Look, last year also in 2022 we got 7 marks. So for instrumentation students, digital electronics is one of the crucial subject. So the same thing, I have shown it in the form of histogram. Okay, how many number of questions have come each year? So this will give you a clue how the questions are coming in the exam. Okay, so in the latest year you can see that 1 mark questions are 3 and 2 mark questions are 3. So that is the total number of questions what we got it. So this signifies you cannot take light with this subject and we need to prepare well. Right. If it comes to the engineering service examination, then how the questions are coming. Here, the syllabus is mentioned combinedly as digital circuits and analog circuits. So I am going to show the information for both these subjects. So analog circuits and digital circuits together, the total number of questions that have come is like this. 21 in 2019, 29 in 2020, and 2022, 20 questions. And in the latest year, 17 questions have come. Look at that. We are having totally 17 number of questions from digital electronics and analog put together. So that's quite a big number. So you have to know the importance of that. Fine. The same thing I have shown in the form of histogram. So here I am going to have the year of examination conducted, and here I am going to have the number of questions asked in the exam. Please mind it, it's not the marks here, this is the number of questions. Okay? So this histogram says very good number of questions are coming from digital electronics and also analog electronics. And then what are the questions asked in analog and digital electronics for EEE students in engineering service examination? Okay, this is the distribution. So the maximum marks we got it in the year 2020, that's equal to 16. Of course, if you split it into two halves, 8 marks, 8 questions in analog part, 8 questions in digital. So that is the total number of marks we got it here. And then if you look at the latest year, it is 10. That means on average, 5 questions have come in engineering service examination from digital electronics subject. So this is what is the weightage we are going to have it. The same thing, how many number of questions we have got it in each year, I have displayed in the form of histogram. So why I am showing all these things? Because you should know what is the importance of this subject in this competitive examination. Please try to have it in your mind before you proceed. Fine. After understanding what is the marks distribution and weightage given for this subject, now let us come to what are the types of questions they will ask you in the GATE exam as well as engineering service examination. So if you come to the first one, yeah. So we get the questions in 3 types in GATE exam. The first one being multiple choice questions, that is called MCQ. Means for one question, we are going to have 4 options and you have to pick the correct option. People generally say that this is easy questions. Why? Because by the process of elimination, out of the 4 options, most of the times 2 options you can get rid of. That means you just need to select one correct answer out of the remaining 2. But remember, this is all having negative marking. That's the unfortunate thing. So you cannot go for picking the answer just like that because it is having negative marking. That is, 1/3 mark will be deducted for 1 mark question and 2/3 mark will be deducted for 2 marks question. So one advantage is this type of questions easy to answer, but disadvantage is you are going to attract negative marking. Second one, multiple select questions. So in the GATE exam, this was not there earlier, just around 2 to 3 years back itself, they have introduced this. That means for a given question, more than one or one answer is correct. One or more than one are correct. So that means if you want to answer to this type of question, you need to have grip on the fundamentals. Complete knowledge about the topic is necessary to answer to this question because out of the 4 options given, 3 options may be correct. You know only 2 of them, but the 3rd one you do not know, then there is every chance your answer is going to go wrong. So this is a little challenging. But only advantage is this doesn't have negative marking. In a similar fashion, numerical answer type questions. So that means fill up the blanks. So for the questions asked under NAT, the answer will come in the form of numeral between 0 to 9. So again, there is no hint for you to answer to this question. There are no 4 options. So you have to solve the problem in an effective way and try to get the answer correctly. Then only you can get the mark for this. If it deviates little bit, then we are going to lose the mark. But lucky thing is, there is no negative marking for this numerical answer type questions. So this is what is the type of questions being asked in GATE exam. Let's come to engineering service examination. Is it going to have the same type of question? Almost same, but instead of NEIT type of questions, we are going to have statement-based questions. So in this also, in objective paper I am talking about, we are going to have MCQ questions, MSQ questions, as well as the statement-based questions. The third one is very crucial. So to answer to this, we need more skills. He will give statement 1 as well as statement 2. Then you have to find which one is true between them and what type of relation it is going to have it. 4 options will be given, A, B, C, D, and you have to pick the right one. So to answer to these questions, the 2 statements given, you must be able to understand it properly. Many people, they understand statement 1, but statement 2, they do not know much about it. I think that is unfortunately going to make you to lose the mark. So this is what the additional thing in engineering service examination, right? So far I told syllabus, what is the weightage given, and what are the types of questions given. Now let's go further. So we'll see what exactly you need to do. So I was telling right from beginning, if you prepare it in a systematic way, it's easy to get into very good ranks. What's that systematic way? Okay. So if you keep on just going through the notes, suppose lecture notes given by the faculty, that's not going to be enough. Reason, you will understand it, and after some time, you tend to forget it. Then what should we do, sir? I will advise few things. Number 1, you have to record the logical points, which is very, very important. So these logical points will be mentioned in no textbook. So in any textbook, he will mention about only the theoretical things. What is the fundamental concept? What is the application of that? Advantages, disadvantages. Okay, but what is the logical point in that? We need to understand, and you have to record it separately. So I advise you, you prepare a short notes for each topic in each subject. So not only digital electronics. And in that what you have to mention is, what is the new point you have learnt in the classroom? For example, for a 2's complement representation, you know already many things, many fundamentals, but the sir has told one more extra point about the 2's complement representation. You immediately record it. So that is what is required, and I have mentioned this as logical points in each topic. That's very, very crucial. Next one, what are the shortcuts? That means every time you need not go for the lengthy procedure to find the solution. The reason is the time is very short. So within these 3 hours in GATE exam, you have to answer to all the questions. So the time is very precious. That means for some of the questions, you need to have the shortcuts so that you can get to the solution easily. But how to implement it in the exam? At the time of preparation itself, you need to record it. Take a 2's complement representation, for example, and in that one, what is the shortcut you need to remember? What is the range of numbers in 2's complement representation? Those type of things, we need to record it in a short notes. So prepare definitely lecture notes as well as short notes. Lecture notes, anyhow, we'll be giving it in the classroom. Okay? Whatever we do write it on the board, you will be taking it. But short notes, it is going to be prepared by you according to your convenience and according to your comfort. So in that short notes, we have to mention all these points. So it should be in such a way that after 1 month, if I open that short notes book, I must be able to recollect all the important and key points about the topic. Sequential circuits, what are the key points? Combination circuits, what are the key points? Like for each and every topic, you have to prepare. It's not going to be guided by the lecturer. Lecturer is going to give the lecture about that. He will give the lecture notes, but from that notes, you have to extract the short notes on your own way. I'm sure if you implement it, you will be successful in a big way. Next, what are the important points? So that's what I said. Don't listen to the lecture in a uniform manner. Just keep on listening what exactly it is, what is binary code, what is the meaning of that code, like that. Don't listen it just in a routine manner. You have to pick the important points. And then you write it in your short notes. the short notes will reflect the standard of your preparation. Why? Because when you are writing the short notes, we can understand how depth you understood the fundamentals. So that is going to be very, very crucial one. So important points, you record it. Okay? Don't write it as a lengthy way. It should be very short and sweet. Very short and sweet. That's a very important thing. Next, formulae, obviously. For one thing, we are going to have many number of formulae. So all of them, you have to accumulate it at one place. Okay? So, for example, what is the range of numbers represented in 2's complement form? For that, there are n number of methods are there to show them. So you have to write all of them at one place. It's not one, it is going to have many, many options. We just learned one of them in the class. But if you look at other exams, they will give other type of expressions for the range of numbers. So that's the reason, whatever you come across during your preparation, all the formulae for any particular topic, write at one place. So this topic is going to be very, very important. What is that? Is prepare the short notes consisting of all these things. I tell you no, once you prepare it thoroughly, you will never forget the subject. Even if you forget, after 1 or 2 months also, you open your short notes, you can recollect the points easily without putting much effort. Converse, if you haven't prepared the short notes, for every topic you have to go through the lecture notes, it is time consuming. You do not know where to focus and where to find your required information. That is not going to fetch you. Okay? So keep all these 4 points in the mind and prepare the short notes immediately. That's going to be fetching you a lot. Then, once you prepare, then how do you test yourself? See, in competitive examination, the main thing for success is you have to evaluate yourself where you stand. Okay? Are you performing in a better way? Or do you require any improvement in any one of the subject? Or you are in a poor standard? To know that, first thing, you have to prepare it very well. So first thing, what you have to do it here is, lot of resources are available to practice and to evaluate yourself what is your preparation standard. The first one is volume 1. I think most of you would have come across this. It contains classroom practice questions as well the worked out examples. So when the faculty is dealing with the subject in the classroom itself, most of the questions in this volume 1, they will be discussed in the class, and some of the problems will be given to the students to answer on their own. So try to solve them, and do you have any doubt? In this particular worked out examples, followed by the problem, you will get the solution also. So if at all any doubt is there, first don't see at the solution. Try to look at the problem, solve it on your own. If you are not getting it, then you try to look at the solution. If the solution is also not giving correct idea, then you approach the faculty. That is one thing you have to understand. Right. What else we have to practice before you go to the exam? The practice makes the man perfect. To launch the Chandrayaan-3, I think it would have been tested many number of times. Remember, it's not done on one day. Okay? So they will experiment it many number of times, and only after that they will launch it. So it requires preparation. Similarly, succeeding in any competitive examination requires a lot of preparation. So the next one is the workbook. Earlier we used to call it as volume 2, now it is called as workbook. So in this one, the lucky thing is lot of problems are given, and for chapter wise it is given. So what you have to do is, as soon as you prepare any particular subject, few chapters, in those chapters you immediately go to workbook and try to solve it. You may ask me, sir, if I am not able to get the solution for the workbook problems, what should we do? The solutions are given at the end of the workbook. They are not at one place. So problems are at one place, solutions are at the end of the book. So again, it's a golden chance for you to assess yourself, where do you stand? See, if you are able to solve the problems, well and good. If you are not able to solve the problem, please learn the fundamentals in such a way, if the same type of problem comes next time, you must be able to solve it. But unfortunately, with many of the students, it's not happening. So try to remember that. Once you solve a problem, understand the fundamentals, spend some time on it, spend some quality time on it. Why I could not do it and how the solution is given, where your effort is lacking. Those points you have to memorize, such that when you come across similar type of problem in future, you have to recollect those logic and try to answer them. That is the correct way of improving yourself. Next, again to keep practicing, one more resource is available with us, that is called Bits and Bytes book. So in that also, a lot of problems are given from across the competitive examinations. So you try to solve them, then if you don't get it, then go through the solution. So this is another one. So once you practice all of them, first you practice volume 1, then you practice workbook, chapter wise. I advise you don't go complete. See, this is one more thing. Don't wait until you complete the entire subject. As soon as one chapter is over, for that chapter, you try to solve the problems from all these 3 resources. You do it chapter wise so that you can understand what exactly the things you have to learn from that. Okay, in that manner, once you complete the entire preparation of the entire subject, now you can come to GATE previous year questions. So here you are going to feel the sample of what questions you are going to get in the forthcoming GATE examination. Obviously, it is going to give a sample of it, what depth the questions is going to be asked here. If you observe, from my experience I have seen, the questions are not going to be tough, but it is going to be logical. So if you understand the question properly, no doubt we can answer that with any confusion or without any error. But as I told you, it requires little practice and the grip on the fundamentals is very much necessary. Fine. So then, in the similar fashion, those who are appearing for engineering service examination, those people also go through the previous year question papers. PYQ stands for previous year question papers. So these are the resources one has to follow and test yourself. Where do you stand once you complete your preparation? One more time I tell you, my advice is you assess yourself chapter wise. As soon as binary numbers chapter is over, then you try to solve all the problems from all these resources. Once combination circuits is completed, again you try to solve the problems from all these resources. So I advise you, go by chapter wise. Don't wait until the entire subject preparation is over. That's never going to complete. Fine? So this is one important thing you have to keep it in mind for your success. Well, as I always tell, competitive examination is going to be a tricky one. So before I go to the exam, I must know where do I stand, how I am performing. Am I in a position to answer the GATE questions and engineering service examination questions properly? To test that one, we conduct a lot of test series. Without missing even a single one, please take this opportunity and then you try to write all those particular exams. The reason is, it is going to tell you what GATE rank you are going to get, what rank you are going to get in engineering service examination. This is the best method to evaluate yourself. Where do you stand after your preparation? That's what I always put forward. Preparation is entirely one thing, but application of those fundamentals in solving the problems, it is the second thing. The first one is very easy. Learning the fundamentals is going to be very easy. With the effort of faculty and your effort, you can easily understand. But how much you are able to transform those fundamentals in answering the questions, that's going to be critical. So generally people neglect this test series. That is the unfortunate thing. But I say that it is a golden opportunity. It is a boon for you. You have to appear for this. Then only you will come to know, are you really preparing it in a proper way or does it require any correction? Well, so we do conduct the test series at different levels. First one is chapter wise. Look at that. We know where the students are lacking. That's the reason we have programmed this test series in a different manner here. Number one, chapter wise we'll conduct it because we know that the student, as soon as he prepares one chapter, he wants to test himself. So that's the reason appear for this chapter wise test series. Second one, once you are good at chapter wise, that means you are performing, then after few days you prepare for subject wise test series appearance. So putting all chapters together in digital electronics, how much you are able to perform. Some of the students, they may be very good at chapter wise, but when it comes to the collective chapters, that is entire subject, they may not be performing well. The reason is they are not able to remember all the basics of all the chapters. Chapter wise they are very good, but when it comes to all the chapters in the subject, they are not performing well. Then you know where you are lacking. Then you know what is the thing you need to correct it. So that is what you have to make use of the resources available, and one of them is the test series. Next one comes the multi-subject wise. You can look at this. Why we do conduct like this one is we know we have to make the students to learn the subject in a constructive way. First one chapter, second chapter, third chapter. Once it is over, subject wise, one digital electronics subject completely, and then multiple subjects, digital electronics and analog electronics and control systems, like that one. So we have to, if you practice it like this, your capability in remembering the things is going to improve leaps and bounds. So try to have it in your mind, okay? And then of course, once it is completed, 1, 2, 3 is completed, then we go for the mock test. What is a mock test? So it is going to be the similar type of exam which is going to be same as GATE examination as well as engineering service examination. So if you have done this stepwise process properly, I am sure you can succeed in mock test also, okay? And then that will be beneficial for you in the forthcoming GATE and ESE exam. That's what I said. Just because you are reading the subject and you know the answers, that's not enough to succeed. You have to do it in systematic way, and one of the step the student should not forget is test series. So appear for the test series without fail, and that is going to enhance your skills like anything. Why you have to come for the test series? Lot of things are there, try to understand. It's not only checking whether you are able to answer to those questions or not. No, few more things are there. Number one, get used to the examination environment. Okay, so get used to the examination environment. When you enter a GATE exam hall, how it will be, you can experience it. Number two, time management. That's very crucial. You may be knowing all the answers, but you are taking 4 hours to answer them. Then that's of no use. So within 3 hours, you must able to answer to that. So how do you get that time management? By appearing for this mock test. So this is going to teach you many things. So better don't skip these test series, appear them without fail. Okay, now if it comes to the digital electronics, there are a lot of books are available. One thing I can say, the questions asked in the GATE and engineering service examination, you don't find it in any textbook. The reason is, the questions are asked in a logical way. So they frame it offhand by the IIT professors. So that's the reason you don't find the similar type of questions in any textbook here. But to learn the fundamentals, I do suggest some of the textbooks. Please have a look at it. The first one is the ever-present Digital Design by Maurice Mano. So this is the best book for competitive examination wise. And then the second one is this, you can go through Tossi and Wedner. So he has also given the fundamentals in a simple way. So the book Tossi is also very good. Coming to the third one, it is called RP Jain. So easy to understand, and some typical topics have been taken up by this particular author, RP Jain. Next one, this is one more textbook where you find the typical problems. It is called Digital Introduction to Digital Circuits by Bogart. Hope you are able to see this name. That is called B-O-G-A-R-T, Bogart. The title of that textbook is Introduction to Digital Circuits. And then one last book is, it will be useful for digital electronics as well as computer organization, and that is called Digital Circuits, Digital Logic and Computer Design by Maurice Mano. So here the approach is little bit different, suiting to the computer organization. So these are the 5 textbooks, you need to go through it apart from the lecture notes. So refer to these textbooks only if you have any doubts, okay? Only if you are not good at fundamentals. Otherwise, you can straight away go to appearing for the mock test after learning from the lecture notes. Well, so what topics are important in digital electronics? This we can say looking at the type of questions we have got it in previous years. So some of the topics I have picked it based on the number of times the question is asked in that particular topic. Yes. So the first one is the 2's complement representation. So many questions do come based on this. So we have to have good knowledge about the 2's complement representation in all respects. How to represent negative numbers, what is the range of numbers, what is the multiplication of signed numbers, what is the addition of signed numbers, what is the Booth's algorithm, everything you need to have proper idea. Coming to the second one, Karnaugh maps. We know that it is the graphical method of simplification. So based on that also many problems do come. Sometimes he will ask you to find what are the prime implicants, essential prime implicants, and what is the minimized expression. So this topic is also going to be crucial for us. Coming to the next one, output waveforms of a logic circuit. So he will give a logic circuit with a known input and he will ask you to find what is the output waveform with propagation delays of logic gates given. So nowadays we are getting more number of questions based on this. So you have to practice it. If the logic gates are having some propagation delay, in that case, how to find out the output waveform for that. Next one is the static CMOS implementation. So he is going to take multiple CMOS gates, he will collect it and he will ask you to find what is the output expression of that particular CMOS circuit. Sometimes it might be a logic gate, simple logic gate, or sometimes it might be a logical expression. This needs definitely the practice. Okay, so that is another one important. After this, we get many number of questions from combinational. In this especially, we get about the binary adders. So there are different types of binary adders available: parallel binary adder, carry look ahead adder, and serial adder. So based on that adders, if you look at all the previous year questions, many number of problems are coming. But keep it in mind, they will not be asked in a straightforward fashion. It is going to have some logic in that particular question. So learn the topic thoroughly. After this, you are going to have multiplexers. So this is also another prominent topic where we do get many number of questions in the GATE exam. So it is going to be circuit based one. So he will connect a circuit using multiple multiplexers, and based on that he is going to ask you different types of questions. So practice as much as possible using these multiplexers. And then the next one is the decoders. So in this category called as combination circuits, most of the times questions do come based on these three things. So understand them well, prepare the short notes, Try to answer to those questions from the previous year papers. Once you are clear with that, you are ready for the next forthcoming examination in 2024. Yeah. The next one is the sequential circuits. I think most of the problems will come on latches and flip-flops. I'm going to have one more session on 7th, which discusses about important topics or important concepts of digital electronics. In that, I solve some of the problems. So this is another one very important. What is a latch? What is a flip-flop? How the problems will come on latch and flip-flop? How to answer them? That's going to be a very critical one. We can expect in 2024 a question based on the latch. And ever important topics is these two. So shift register, and one problem will be given on that one, as well as the counters. That's what I'm telling. In digital electronics, there is no prototype for the problem. The problem is going to be framed in a logical way, which you can't expect. So to answer to that, you need to have presence of mind and good fundamentals. And once it is completed, another important topic is a finite state machine. So nowadays, more and more number of questions are coming based on this FSM. A real world problem is going to be taken, and he will ask you to find what is the number of flip-flops required to design that system. So this also requires some insight into that. Okay? A traffic light controlling system, design FSM for that, how many flip-flops are required for that. A vending machine, I want to design. So in order to do that, how many number of flip-flops are required? So this is going to give very important topics in this one. And then the data converters. So I say that it is also equally important where it deals with analog to digital conversion and digital to analog conversion. So problems do come based on the topics. Next one is semiconductor memories. It's mostly theoretical one, but at times the problems will come based on the semiconductor memories. So for both GATE examination and engineering service examination, for all the branch students, these are the important topics, 8 of them. Okay, that's it. Same thing I have written for this ESE students also. Okay, so additional topic for engineering service examination is logic families. So the only topic which is extra in this engineering service examination is nothing but logic families. So what is bipolar logic family? What is unipolar logic family? What are the properties of them? What are the different family members we are having it? How to solve a problem based on that? So that is what we need to learn from these logic families. Right. Next one, some of the students, you might be watching the recorded videos. I know that. So I want to give one advice for time optimization. The thing is, when you are watching your videos, you have to discriminate. That means if the topic is easy one, the topic is known to you, then you watch those videos at double speed. So you quickly go through it. Don't waste the time. Whereas when you come across a difficult topic, so for that particular video, you spend enough time and try to understand the basics properly. So changing the speed of watching the videos is very important, okay, when you are preparing for any competitive examination. Try to implement that. Okay, watch the familiar topics at very high speed. I think that is going to save a lot of time for you. Okay, that's very important thing. Okay, next. Coming to the last point. So now I have put forward to you what are the things you need to do to succeed in any competitive examination. Right from syllabus, what is the weightage given, what is the preparation strategy, and then how to prepare lecture notes and short notes, how to appear in test series, and all those things. If you do it practice in proper way, we can surely say that you will get good rank in the forthcoming examination. Then you are having one option in GATE examination. We can choose second paper. So what are that second paper options? You have it here is like this. Electronics and communication engineering students, they can write any one of this paper. So ECE students, they can appear for computer science, EEE, instrumentation and physics. Whereas if you take the EEE students, what is the second paper they are eligible is electronics and communications, instrumentation and physics. And then if you look at instrumentation engineering students, they can appear for the biomedical engineering, electronics and communications, EEE and mechanical engineering. So this is what you can appear for as a second paper. This is the primary paper and that is the second paper. I just wanted to mention what are the additional topics we have to learn to appear for the second paper for each branch student, okay, in digital electronics, right? ECE is first paper and instrumentation I want to take it as second paper. What are the additional topics I need to learn? Number one, IC families, TTL and CMOS. That means this topic is there in instrumentation, but this is not there in ECE. Next one, sigma delta A to D converter. So this A to D converter, electronics and communication engineering students, they don't read it. It is there only for instrumentation students. So that's the reason this is the extra topic, you have to read it. And third one is, what are the characteristics of A to D and D to A converter? So this is the third topic, okay? So the ECE students, if they want to take instrumentation as second paper, these are the three topics we need to learn. Next one, ECE is first paper and EEE as second paper. Then what are the extra topics you need to learn? There are no extra topics because the syllabus of digital electronics for ECE students is going to be the superset of the syllabus of EEE students. So there are no additional topics. Similarly, if ECE students wants to write the computer science paper, luckily there are no additional topics for this one. So you can just, whatever you have done preparation for ECE in digital electronics, that's going to be enough for CSE. Next one, EEE students, they want to write ECE as second paper. Then what are the extra topics they have to learn? So these are the extra topics. There are many topics are there. We need to go through it. This one, number systems, floating point numbers, Boolean algebra, static CMOS implementation, semiconductor memories. So these topics are not there in EEE GATE syllabus. Next one, if instrumentation students, they want to write ECE paper, then they have to learn one topic extra, that is called static CMOS implementation. Okay? So how to implement a logic gates using static CMOS, that's going to be the additional topic here. And then instrumentation students, if you want to appear for EEE, no additional topics because the syllabus of instrumentation is going to cover the entire syllabus of EEE also. So this is what I want to advise you. What is the second paper you can take it depending on your branch, and in digital electronics, what are the additional topics we need to learn for that particular subject. So with this, I have come to the end of my preparation strategy presentation. I hope that I have passed on some hints with my vast experience and this will be useful for you. One thing is sure, take the things seriously. So if you put the efforts in a serious manner, no doubt you are going to get a good result, if immediately or after some time, that is for sure. So put the hard work, do the hard work continuously. Don't worry if any negative results come in the middle. Keep working on it, and on one fine day, you are going to settle in your life in a successful manner. All the best. Thank you.